Hey guys, I'm Nina Zeta with Sidewalker Daily, and in today's video, I want to talk about how to pivot a brand ambassadorship into a paid brand deal and being a paid influencer. Now, before I give you guys those concrete tips, I kind of want to share with you the evolution of the brand ambassador role. So back in the day, before the influencer marketing industry really peaked and before influencers were a thing, it was the brand ambassadors. These were like a brand's most loyal fans, and what brands would do is they're like, okay, how do we get our fans to talk about us within their, in-person peer groups, right? So maybe it's a PTA mom. How do we get them to talk about our products? Or maybe it's on a college campus, getting college kids. Like I remember when we went to college, there was like a really cool brand ambassador program from like this online e-commerce store. And their brand ambassador program, because there wasn't any influencer marketing, was really just an affiliate program, right? They're like, you get discounts off any of our clothing. It's apply only, and then you were able to share your link and like make money or get points towards, I don't know, items. Again, this is where it started. This is not where we are right now. In terms of brand ambassador programs right now, we're seeing a big shift because they're no longer unpaid programs, right? Like again, each company will run their ambassador programs differently, but I think what you're gonna see happen more and more is just creators and influencers are like, wait a second, like I'm not doing this for free, I want a paid brand ambassadorship, and those exist as well. So depending on where you fall on the spectrum, if you're watching today, you may be part of an ambassador program, you'll know that every ambassador program is created differently, right? But how it started was for the super fan, the loyal fan. Again, I always come to mind like college campuses giving out like kind bars, or booths set up, or things that maybe a tailgate, at a college campus around football season. Like I just remember certain brands trying to insert themselves into these cool, like, in-person events. But since then, the world has gone so digital. We're so like at a different stage right now that brand ambassador could be a little bit outdated. We're seeing more and more influencers again push back on brands that are trying to do ambassador programs. They're like, wait a second, like you want me to post, you're giving me a link, but you're not paying me? That doesn't feel good. So we're seeing a shift happening right before our eyes about that tension growing in this space where creators are no longer looking for free brand ambassadorships, but looking for paid ones. And that's what today's video is about. One thing I do want to note though, about the brand ambassador program, and I know I've said this because lots of brands have different ways that they're executing their programs out. It may or may not be a bad thing depending on what your personal goals are. So a lot of people that come to this channel, they're creators who want to make money, right? But some people may be listening in and they're like, I love this brand. I want a code to get 50% off all their stuff because I'm a super fan, right? And they're not monetizing through brand deals. So for them, perhaps a brand ambassadorship, the typical one where you're not getting paid, but you're getting a link or you're getting discounts. Perhaps that's convenient to them. I think what we like to focus on here at Sidewalker is getting creators paid. So today's video is going to be more about like pivoting those conversations. When you're stuck maybe in a brand ambassador role, how do we pivot them? Now, the first question I always get asked is, Nina, should I even do it? I can't tell you what not to do in your business. You almost have to be able to make those decisions executively, what you think will work. If it's a brand that you love, that you're trying to, connect with, maybe you're trying to grow a relationship with them. Maybe you want a discount off the products because you buy them every single day. Again, I don't know what the product even is. Those are things to consider in your decision-making process. I do think that whenever you are part of some ambassador program, it does make it easier to pitch because one, you can lean on results. Two, you usually have an in the company and there's someone that you can either send your media kit to or your portfolio to. It's a lot easier than sending out a cold pitch. Now, speaking of cold pitches, this is why a creator who is in a brand ambassador style program, this is what I want you always to remember. If you do end up accepting some sort of, collaboration in this space, your goal is to get out of it. Your goal is to go in, potentially create some results, create some momentum, and then pitch that brand directly. But the good thing is that you've warmed up the pitch. When I say warmed up the pitch is you're not pitching to a stranger. You're like, oh, I'm part of your ambassador program. I'd love to get on a call. I'd love to share like a recap of our work together and pitch you some ideas for the next quarter. Like it's almost like you're already in. And if you have that mindset, I think you can leverage being a brand ambassador to get paid. But if you get friend zoned and you just kind of do this brand ambassador thing, but you don't take that gusto to move forward and pitch them, then you could get stuck in that, phase forever or for a really long time. And that's where you'll end up getting resentful, not really happy about it. Now, if you are a creator that is looking to work with brands, get paid brand deals, that is our specialty here at Sidewalker. Join our next free live training. They are live, no replays, no recording. So you have to show up. I'll include a link below so that you can join our next training on how to land paid brand deals, no matter your following size. Now let's talk about that pivot when you are a brand ambassador and you are looking to pitch to this brand and kind of get out of that zone. How do we make that shift? So I think data is a really good place to start. Being able to show that brand the results of your brand ambassadorship. Like, oh, I posted 5 this. These were the total views. These were the number of links that were clicked. Brands want to see data. So if you're able to put together some sort of recap report to present to the team, this I think will definitely set you above the ground. Secondly, if you are a brand ambassador to, let's just say, a shoe brand, and you're like, I'm not getting any segue or I'm not getting any headway, with that brand, go ahead and pitch to another brand in the same category using those results. So if you end up pitching to a brand that is, maybe a competitor or complementary, they may recognize that brand ambassador program. They may be like, oh, like you've created content for Nike, and just having that like brand credibility may get you a conversation with another brand. So that's another way that you can pivot, is leveraging the credibility of the current brand. Now, again, you're not going to this new brand and saying, I'm a brand ambassador. I only do it for, this, that, the other. So it's using that opportunity strategically to get a new one. One thing that I do want to state to any creator or influencer that is listening, because the brand ambassadorships, they started out free, but that is no longer where we are at in general. So a lot of the creators that I know, their brand ambassadorships are paid. And what that means is that is a longer term relationship that they have with the brand. So it's usually, when we talk about retainer-based business, 3 months, 6 months, where you produce a certain number of content for that brand a month. Those are also brand ambassadorships. Those are the ones that I see here at the Sidewalker Daily within our community, within our pitching students. They are, re-pitching their brand partners. They're getting longer deals, and they're not working with as many brands, but more quality, right? So they're going after category exclusivity with a certain brand. And that too is a brand ambassadorship. And the reason I want to say that is because not all brand ambassadorships are free. Again, a big chunk that I see are paid, because the brand just wants to work with you. They kind of want to be your channel sponsor. They want to work with you in a longer form. So again, this is also that strategy. But if you're a paid influencer, you're going to take a different approach. You're no longer saying, okay, I'm going to create 2 or 3 posts for you. Here's a monthly package, and I have a 3-month minimum. Here's what you can expect throughout the next 3 months. And this is when you send a proposal to get those current paid partners into longer term brand partners, right? Which is technically is you're being an ambassador for them over a longer period of time. I just had a creator the other day post in our Facebook group that she got a year contract. So she is one of their brand ambassadors for the entire year. And again, if this is of interest to you, you want to learn more about proposals, how to put them together, how to pitch effectively, and all that good stuff, take a look at our Pitching to Brands Master course. I'll leave a link for that as well below. This will have all the tools to get you started pitching right away. Now, there are tons of scams, my friends, when it comes to being a brand ambassador. Just like in everything, there's always just shady people doing shady things. You should never have to pay for a product. That is the first red flag. Should never have to pay for a product or pay for shipping. None of it. If you're working with a brand in a paid capacity or even in a collaborative capacity, you should not be paying for the product. Those are when brands, like, they become really shady and they almost just put the pricing of what the cost of the product is in the shipping. So they'll be like, it's $30 shipping, but that's actually like includes the price of what the product is. I know, it's like super crazy and weird. So that's the first and biggest thing that you should look out for when it comes to brand ambassador programs, is that they are making you pay, or because they really are like disguising themselves as brand ambassadors, but what really it is, it's just a marketing strategy to sell product. Remember, at the end of the day, your job is to not work for free. This is not where you should be at. But again, I don't like to tell creators what to and not to do. You guys have to make those decisions for yourselves, but it does hurt the industry as a whole when some people are working for free and others are demanding payment. I think the goal here is to create a space where people are getting paid for their content and for their influence, and not just kind of creating and doing the brands a favor and not getting compensated for it. So if there is a brand ambassador program, make sure it's paid, where it's a longer term partnership, or you have a goal in mind to pivot it into a paid one. And again, getting on calls is the best way to do that. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, let me know in the comments, like it, and I will see you in our next video.